Hello everyone, and in this video we are going to discuss about functions. A function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. A JavaScript function is defined with the function keyword followed by a name and which is followed by parentheses. We use functions to define the code once and use it many times. So now we have an HTML file open, index.html, which is open in a browser as well. So let's first add simple HTML to this file, and then we will add JavaScript to this file. So now let's add the script to this file. And now we will write a function with the keyword function and then followed by the name of the function. So I will write add. So add will be the name of the function, and then parentheses, and then the curly braces. And now here inside this function we will write our code. So this is the function. So now let's write our code. So first we will declare a variable. So let's say a is equal to 5 and a variable b is equal to 3. And now let's add these two variables and add it in a third variable. So we will create another variable that is called c, and c is equal to a plus b. So now a plus b will be added, and now let's write it in the document. So document.write and c. So we will see 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, but we can't see anything here because we need to call this functions in order to execute it. So now we will call the function. So we call it by writing the name and then the parentheses. So now you will see 8 on your screen. So now you can see 8 on your screen, and the result is printed there in the browser. Now I know we need to pass parameter to the functions. So we will pass parameter a and b, and we will remove it from the function so that we can pass these from the outside when we call the function. So we will pass these here. So 4 and 2. So we will pass two values. So now the result is 6, as you can see on your screen. Now we can define the variables somewhere in our program. So let's say variable a is equal to 3 and variable b is equal to 5, and you can give any name to these variables. And now let's pass these variables to the function, so a and b, and you can see 5 plus 3 is 8. So now we are passing those variables to our function, and we can call it many times. So now let's call it again. So this time we'll write add, and we will pass 9 and b. So we are passing a number and a variable which is also a number, and you can see 14 there. So 9 plus 5 is equal to 14. Now let's return the value from the function, as we write functions to return some value to us again. So we will pass values and it will calculate the result, and then it will return the result to us back. So in this case, so we need to write it to the document here outside of the function. So document.write and we need to write add here. So add and then the function. So now you will see the result that we are calling the method and we are returning the result, and then we are writing it to the document, and the result we see 14 in the browser. Now let's pass a to that method, and now you can see it. So now let's store the result in a variable which is returned by the method, and then again write that variable value to the document. And you can see the result. Now let's create another function which is, let's say, login, and we will check in this method if the user is logged in or not. So we will pass two values, username and password. And now here we will write our logic. If the username is admin as well as the password is admin, then we will assume that the username and password is correct and the user is logged in. Otherwise, if it's not admin, then we will say the user is not logged in. And this is just a dummy function. So we will return if the username and password is admin, then we will return true. Otherwise, if it is not admin, we will return false. So now let's call our method. So login, admin, and as we are passing the string, so we need to pass it in the double quotes or single quote. And we will store the result in a variable which is called is logged in, and then we will document write is logged in so that we can see the result. And you can see true on your screen. And let's comment these method and document write so that we don't see the result of this function, and you can see true now. Now let's change the password from admin to admins, and as you can see it is not equal, so now we will see false on our screen as the values don't match. So in this way we can create functions for a specific task, and then we can use it again and again in our code anywhere we want.